Hey, what's up? Back with your boy Luke. Guys, check this out. Another day, another hooker, another interview. Guys, today I'm here with a girl from Venezuela and snatched her right up off the street corner. Gonna get an interview. And you might wonder why we're sitting in the lobby of a hotel. And the reason why we're sitting in a lobby and we're not actually in the hotel is because here in Colombia, Venezuelans without papers, immigration papers, cannot enter the hotels. So she can't enter the hotel. She's fled a crisis, a bad situation. She's here in Bogota now and she's making the best of it. So I'm gonna ask her questions in Spanish about what the life is like here, what her life is working the streets here, and then what her life is like living here. And then I'm gonna translate that back to English for you guys to hear what she says. So stick with me and we'll go from there. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
20.
She's 20 years old. And I'm going to ask her how long she's been here in Colombia. ¿Y cuántos años tienes aquí en Colombia?
5 años.
She's been in Colombia for 5 years. Okay? Y I'm going to ask her how she left Venezuela and how she arrived at basically the hooker place that she arrived at. ¿Cómo es que saliste de Venezuela? ¿Caminando o a pie o
En bus.
en bus?
Sí.
She left Venezuela on a bus. Did you have any no tenías amigos aquí, familia aquí?
No.
So she left Venezuela on a bus when she was 15 years old. Tenía 15 años cuando saliste. ¿Y llegaste directamente a la Santa Fe? So at 15 years old, she arrived here and she fell into that game on the street immediately. So, you know, that's terrible. A 15-year-old girl in the United States is a sophomore in high school. She doesn't have a driver's license. And this girl, kicked out of her home country, starvation pretty much, fled an economic crisis, and she winds up, you know, selling herself on the streets of Bogota, which is a whole nother country. So you guys imagine that and what she's been through. Now I'm going to get into that. We're going to start talking to her about that. ¿Tienes familia aquí en la Santa Fe? ¿O cómo están las cosas allá? ¿La vida es peligroso? ¿Te han robado? ¿Te han golpeado?
No.
¿O cómo están las cosas allá?
O sea, ahí no hay peligro porque ahí hay personas que defienden a uno, a las mujeres que trabajan ahí.
Ajá.
Y, o sea, nunca me han robado, nunca me han faltado el respeto, nunca nada, siempre me han tratado bien.
Gracias a Dios.
Sí.
Now, she just said that, you know, luckily she's never been robbed. She's never been beaten up. She's like, everybody has always respected her and everyone has always treated her very well, okay? Now, that's what she's saying. But can you imagine being 15 years old and being thrown into that game? That's terrible. Y aquí, ¿tienes niños? ¿Estás casado? O...
Tengo una bebé.
She does have one kid. ¿Y piensas estar aquí en Bogotá mucho tiempo?
Sí, hasta que se acomode Venezuela.
She thinks that she's going to be here a long time in Bogota because the situation in Venezuela is really bad. And I'm going to ask her why she keeps working on the street. Why don't she get a job in a factory or something else? ¿Y por qué no consigues un trabajo en una maquila o en otra parte? ¿Es difícil o
Sí,
te gusta el trabajo
o sea,
que
ya
haces?
me acostumbré a trabajar y agarrar dinero en Santa Fe y es muy difícil salirse.
She said basically that, you know, she's accustomed herself to working at the Santa Fe and she's making money and it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave the lifestyle. I'm going to ask her about drug use now. Muchas mujeres usan drogas ahí.
Sí.
She said, yes, a lot of girls use drugs. Es una cosa que no tienes que contestar, pero ¿usas drogas tú?
No.
No. She said she does not use drugs. Pero muchas mujeres sí.
Sí.
And I'm going to ask her about, you know, transvestites and gay prostitutes and things like that too. Hay muchos hombres trabajando en la Santa Fe también, gays, y muchos trans y todo
Sí.
eso, por todos lados. Y entonces no están trabajando en un bar, andan en todos lados.
Hay muchos bares. No, ellos tienen su calle para ellos y nosotros las mujeres aparte también.
She said like the girls have their own streets that they're allowed to work, and then the transvestites, they have their own streets that they're allowed to work. It's all separated, it's all controlled. So I'm going to ask her now if she charges gringos more money than locals. ¿Cobran más dinero las mujeres allá a los gringos que los mexicanos o los colombianos? ¿O no?
No, siempre cobramos 40
Ujú,
y a ellos pagan la habitación.
ujú.
A veces que, o sea, obviamente que los gringos sí nos pagan 1 hora, 2 horas.
Uh-huh. She says that she charges 40,000 Colombian pesos, okay, for full service. Now, 40,000 Colombian pesos, ¿cuánto? Como $10, 40,000 pesos.
Sí.
That's $10, guys. That's $10 is what this girl charges. So can you just imagine the economic difficulties that they're on? That's wild. I'm going to ask her if she plans on ever going back to Venezuela and how the working situation is in Venezuela. ¿Nunca has regresado a Venezuela ni para visitar?
Sí,
¿Sí?
sí,
¿Te gusta?
sí, claro.
¿Sí? Y si trabajas en Venezuela, en lo mismo, ¿ganas más, ganas menos?
Gano menos.
She said that, you know, if she was to be working the streets in Venezuela, it would be even less than the $10 that it is. I mean, can you imagine that? How could that be? I wonder if she's ever been to any other countries. And I'm going to ask her, why doesn't she work in the clubs too? ¿Has trabajado en otro país? ¿O solamente aquí?
Solo aquí.
She's only worked here. Y dime una cosa. ¿El trabajo es mejor en los antros, en los clubs, o la calle?
En la calle.
She says the street work is better than working in the club. ¿Y por qué es eso?
¿Mm?
¿Por qué es mejor en la calle?
Porque, o sea, te ven más, casi todo el mundo no entra mucho a los nightclubs.
She made an excellent point. She said that the reason why working the street is better than nightclub is because a lot more customers are driving around and a lot more people see her, okay? And then because a lot more people see her, that's a lot more money that she can make. She said because not everybody likes to enter the nightclub, okay? That's just the way that goes. Awesome. And I'm going to ask her how long she continues in this business and if she likes it. ¿Y cuánto tiempo más piensas en trabajar en eso?
Unos 3 años más.
She said she's going to give it 3 more years. Now, I don't know why she come up with 3 years, but she did. 3 more years. 3 años. Y pues, ¿qué más te iba a preguntar? What else am I going to ask her? I'm going to ask her about getting out of the business and, you know, if she could leave anytime she wanted to. Pero tú estás trabajando, no estás como obligado de trabajar
No.
ciertos días, o puedes entrar y salir
Sí,
cuando
claro, yo
quieres.
trabajo por mi cuenta.
She says she works for her own cuenta, her own bill, her own self, okay? And, you know, no one's taking her money. There, you know, there's no one, there's no pimp involved. There's no regulation. She can come and go as she pleases. It's very easy. Oye, y ¿qué te voy a preguntar? ¿No te molesta la policía o alguien porque no tienes los papeles exactamente
Sí.
en orden?
Sí,
¿Y cómo está el asunto ahí?
salgo corriendo.
¿Sí?
Sí,
Now, she said that la migración llega a veces.
sí, la migración.
She said that a lot of times the immigration police will show up, and when they do, she has to take off running. ¿Y nunca te cachan?
No.
They've never caught her. And I'm going to ask her, what happens if she does get caught? ¿Y qué pasó si te cachan?
Me dejan detenida por el permiso de migración. O si no, me deportan a Cúcuta.
She said what they'll do is they will detain her, they will lock her up until she gets a permission or she can get a permit or something to do with a permission. I wasn't real sure on the translation there. Or that they will deport her back to Venezuela. Now, I'm going to ask her when she crosses the border, I don't think they really ask anything. Pero cuando cruzas de Venezuela para acá, no te preguntan permisos ni nada.
O sea, no porque nosotros pasamos por un río.
They did not ask her any questions when she crossed the border into Colombia because she crossed in a river in the countryside, okay? That's how she did it. She went around the bridge. She went around customs. So that's what she did. So, I mean, this is an incredible story, guys. You got a poor girl here that's 20 years old. I mean, most 20-year-old girls that are in the United States are in college. and she's, you know, working the streets, and she's been on the streets since she was 15. That's just a terrible situation. You know, and I do these videos, you know, for views and to educate people on what's going on around the world. You know, this is unbelievable to me. I can't believe, I just can't imagine a girl that should be a freshman or a sophomore in high school out on the streets, but that's what it is. You know, and if you look at her face right now, it says it all. I mean, I guarantee you, she has seen and been through some shitty times, all right? You know, this video does good on YouTube. I've got her Facebook information. I'm going to be paying her most of the money that is derived from this video. And, you know, I wish her the best, and we'll keep up with her, and we'll check on her, and we'll see how she's doing, you know, in another 4 or 5 months or whatever. Let me translate this to her. Lo que yo estaba diciendo es que te deseo lo mejor y en la vida y todo eso, y aquí eres mi amiga en Facebook y vamos a seguir hablando, y en 3 o 4 meses cuando regreso para acá tal vez nos vemos otra vez y ver qué onda. ¿Sí? ¿Sabe? Okay. And one other thing, I'm going to talk to her now a little bit about, nos falta como 5 minutos, okay? I'm going to talk to her a little bit about what's going on with American girls that are her age and what's going on and what she thinks about the whole situation. Quería comentarte, una niña de 15 años en Estados Unidos está en la preparatoria, anda estudiando, viviendo en su casa. Sus papás cuando tienen 16 años se compran carro, ¿no?, para ella. Y cuando una niña tiene 20 años está estudiando en la universidad, ¿no?, que los papás pagando todo, ella tiene carro, depo en la universidad, y ustedes están aquí trabajando. Es muy diferente la vida. ¿Qué es tu opinión sobre todo eso? ¿Y qué piensas de todo eso?
O sea que...
Habla fuerte.
No sé qué decirte porque me tocó esa vida que llevo y, o sea, la que llevan ellas ya no... Hay personas que no la valoran, que le dan todo y no... O sea, no se lo agradecen a sus padres.
Ajá.
Nosotros que sí llevamos esta vida, le agradecemos mucho a Dios que nos va bien y nos cuida y todo.
You know, she said that this was just the life that was given to her. She said, 5 minutos. She said this was just the life that was given to her, and that, you know, some people appreciate it, some people don't appreciate it, but, you know, she understands that girls in the States that are 15 are in high school, and she understands that, you know, girls that are 20 are in college and they have cars and they study and their parents take care of them. But she said that that was basically just not the life that she was blessed with. So she's just going to try to make the best of whatever. Guys, smash that like and subscribe button if you hadn't done it already. I'm going to ask her a few more questions. I'm going to let her get out of here. There was absolutely nothing between us at all. I gave her a lot of money for this interview. I wish this girl the best. Just educating folks. That's what I'm doing right here. Bueno, pues nos vemos en unos 3 o 4 meses, espero. Y ¿qué más te iba a preguntar, ¿no? Sobre, no más que está mal la situación, que hay mujeres tan jóvenes trabajando en eso.
Ayer llegó un operativo allá en Santa Fe y se llevaron muchas menores de edad.
Now she did say that the girls are there because the younger girls want to be there, okay? Now the Colombian police does go in there and they have raids all the time, and they take the girls out that are minors, okay? But if they're over 18, then they're allowed to keep working. But so there you go. That's good that the Colombian police is doing what they can to police that activity, you know, so they don't wind up like her. This is just a bad deal, you know. But anyways, we wish her the best. And I don't know. I mean, we gave her $100 for this interview. That's and I told her I'd pay her a commission on what the video makes too, and that's equal to 10 customers. Okay, so that's it. And look at that face, guys. That says it all. That's not a happy face. That's not a bad deal. So think about how fortunate you are, you know. All right. Bueno, pues es todo.
Sí.
See. All right, guys. See you down the road.